Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to our virtual class. This is video 8.2, Absolute Advantage, part of our week 8 econ lectures. So in previous lecture 8.1, you may get some ideas of why human trades, which is basically because we can get some benefit from trading with each other. So if you recall in the textbook, the benefit that we get from relocating resources in better uses is called gains from trade. But you might be a little bit unsure about why this relocating process works. So here, we will introduce a new concept called absolute advantage, which may help you to understand the mechanism. So we know that humans sometimes trade because one person is better at making something than another person. And then, there are a lot of examples. Sarah is better at growing corn, while Troy is better at baking bread. Or say, Cleo is better at accounting, and Xuesong is better at programming. And intuitively, it makes sense that each one has their own specialties. And here, technically, we call the ability to do a task using fewer inputs as absolute advantage. And if you think about this, we let everybody doing what they're better at, and we swap goods with each other. We can end up being better off. Let's illustrate this using the production possibility model. And to make it more straightforward, I make a simple spreadsheet. Let's go to our spreadsheet now using some of the assumptions. So here's our example, and the participants are Sarah and Troy, as we just introduced. So they're going to produce something within a month, and they both have some specialties. So here we can see, we say that Sarah can produce 20 units of corn, or she can produce 30 loaves of bread within a month. And Troy can produce either 10 corns only or 60 breads only. And if we connected 2 points in x-axis and y-axis, we can get the productivity possibility frontier here, showing as these 2 straight lines. Each one of them represents Sarah or Troy's productivity possibility frontier. So it's very clear that using the definition of absolute advantage, we can see Sarah is better at producing corn, and Troy is better at producing bread. So now we let Sarah and Troy each does what they are better at. So Sarah will produce 20 corns this month, and Troy will produce 60 breads this month. And this is the production matrix we have. And now we let them trade. Say Sarah will give 10 corns in exchange of 30 breads from Troy. And let's examine the new production matrix. So now both Sarah and Troy can have 30 breads and 10 corn. And now we can see whether or not both of them are better off from their trade. So we plot the dot in the original productivity possibility frontier. We can see that the 3010 point 3010 is actually outside of the productivity possibility frontier, and which means that through the trade they got the utility they get from the goods they have is actually higher than what they originally have if they only produce 2 things on their own. So that's why we say the absolute advantage, we let people doing what they are better at can help us to be better off, or say we can get gains from our trade. And if we dive a little bit deeper, we can see actually we can get the productivity function based on our assumption. And here you can see Y represents corn and X represents bread. And for Sarah, 1 corn is actually versus 1.5 bread. And for Troy, 1 corn versus 6 bread. This actually can be seen as a pricing model. You see that we price a good using the other goods. And you might wonder that just now we trade like 10 corns with 30 breads. The exchange rate is 3. And you might wonder, is that a point that we, pick up deliberately so that they can both better off? But actually from the equation, from the function, you can see that as long as the exchange rate is between 1.5 and 6, both Sarah and Troy will be better off. You can try 4 or 5 on your own, and you can see the point will still be outside of the frontier. So we see that if 2 people each have an absolute advantage in one good, it makes sense to trade. And final questions. What if Sarah and Troy were happy producing at their original frontier that we have here? Would they still want to trade? Absolutely. Who will resist having more utility they have? Like if you are satisfied with only 10 corns, let's say 10 corns and like 15 breads now, like someone now gives you another 10 corns, will you accept it? It's obviously you're better off with more goods than you want in general cases. So that's all for this lecture. Hope this helps. Thank you. See you later.